This is TEDxBath.
This is TEDxBath Countdown.
This is TEDxBath Countdown.
We're here to discuss climate change.
To take action.
To tackle the climate emergency.
This is TEDxBath Countdown. I think we can learn a lot from nature, and it can really inspire us to find ways to move forward from here. I think this is very much what my work is about. It's, seeing the cyclical nature of natural systems, of the forests, of water systems. All systems on Earth really have a cyclical nature, and it works. And I think our ways of living on this planet as humans, and the way that we do industry, it's very much about constant growth and bigger and more, and it's like a plane that takes off and flies, and it keeps going higher and it never has anywhere to land, and it doesn't work. We need to really be paying attention to the natural world and the life of a tree or a woodland, and be creating things in that way where it can be given back to the soil at the end of its useful life cycle as biological nutrients which feed other life forms, which then creates new life, new shoots, and the cycle just keeps going round. That's a way that works. Well, for me, it's not just about having a sustainable future, it's about a regenerative future, because sustainable is sustaining what we already have, and that's no good. So it's more, I think, important to look at how do we regenerate. So that's regenerating our soils, which are the source of all life, which we rely on for all of our food systems, and cleaning and regenerating our water systems, the air, and really looking to practical tools we have for doing this, which for me comes down to regenerative farming models. A more ecological, low-impact way of existing on the world is to return to the village model of living, where we have a sense of connection, cooperation and solidarity with everyone that lives in that locality. And I think the Bristol Cloth Project is a great example of this for me. Artisans coming together with heritage craft skills, producing something with local materials, local manufacture, local skill sets, and sustaining our local heritage culture and creating something in a way which has a low impact. It brings power back to the village, away from the brands, back into our own hands. It means that we have complete transparency and complete control over the way that we're making things, because we're the ones making things, and we have ethics that we choose to live by. Everyone in my supply chain for Bristol Cloth is passionate about practicing ethical business and paying everyone that works with them a good wage and giving them good working conditions. And the Bristol Weaving Mill, they all do Pilates together once a week because they have to keep their back strong to be able to do this weaving. And everyone that works for me, I always pay them way above minimum wage because I really value their services. And this is very different to some invisible company over on the other side of the world who they just don't have the same principles. They're not, they're looking at the bottom line only, and having to work for a big corporation to secure a deal, and take out the responsibility for their workers from the equation. I mean, here we live in Bristol, and the farmer lives in Bristol and cares for the land and the sheep and wants a really high, like the highest quality of animal welfare possible, because Jen and Andy really love their animals, and that they're healthy and have a stress-free lifestyle actually means that they create a much more beautiful, soft and strong fleece, so you get a much higher quality of wool. So it's there's other reasons for caring about the other lives and people and animals in your supply chain. it has a mutually beneficial reciprocal effect. I've really learnt through the Bristol Cloth Project the importance of working in partnership and collaborating, and yeah, it's incredible when you have a group of people who all have an incredible set of skills and passion for what they do, and a huge wealth of knowledge and expertise. To bring all of these skill sets together with this alignment of a shared vision and passion, you know, to create something that's bigger than yourself is incredibly empowering to see what's possible when you collaborate and you have that solidarity with people. I think it's a really interesting question to be asking at this point in time. I think for a long time we've just assumed that these kinds of goals are going to be really hard to implement because it requires such massive systemic change. And I think what's so fascinating about 2020 is that it's shown us that huge systemic change can be actioned extremely quickly, and much quicker than we could ever have imagined. We've all done it. So I think, you know, this is one of the great things about this time. It's showing us what's possible. I think it can be quite simple as just looking at the things that we're using in our day-to-day lives, the products that we're buying, what they're wrapped in, what they're made of, what had to happen to get that product from where it was grown and made to where it is now in front of us. And just to really develop a curiosity for everything that we have, that we wear, that we have in our homes, that we have in our workplaces, you know, all the different products, consumer goods, you know, the fuel that we put in our car, the clothes that we wear, everything. And just to really start looking at what they're made of and what their journey is into becoming. And I think with that kind of understanding, we're then able to question, you know, is this good? Is this sustainable? Is it regenerative? Could I be doing something differently? Can I be investing in products that are more beneficial and more in alignment with the future that I want to be a part of? A way of looking at it is looking at how businesses of the future need to have a triple bottom line. So this is a conscious business model, and it's really important that we reinvent our businesses to fit in this way. So the past business models have just been about the financial bottom line and just concerned about how much money is coming in and constantly needing to increase that as the business model. And it's clear that that doesn't work because it doesn't take into account the effect that this business is having on all the people involved in that system, and the resources and ecology that it depends upon. So when you look at having a triple bottom line, you do need to have financial stability in order for the business to exist, of course, but you also need to have an ecological bottom line and you need to have an ethical bottom line so that it is sustainable for the people and the planet as well. Well, for me, I'm really excited about the grassroots movements that we're seeing in terms of fibre shed systems, soil-to-soil economy, circular systems in industry, transition town networks, permaculture design. You know, there's so much going on which really works and is very much inspired by the cyclical patterns we see in nature. You know, creating something in a way which is reciprocal and gives back to the earth, can be composted and creates new life, which then, you know, creates another circular system again. It's yeah, I think there's really awesome and exciting examples of these kinds of systems globally, and they're the things I think to support and encourage more of. I understand regenerative textiles to be textiles which are 100% natural fibres, grown or farmed in a way which has a regenerative effect on the soil. So it's rebuilding soil fertility, it's regenerating the landscape, growing diverse heritage plants which put more diverse nutrients back into the soil, offer more diverse nutrition to the animals that graze off those plants, and yeah, essentially regenerating the environment. For me, yeah, natural dyeing is so much more than just about fashion. It's always been important for me in terms of being an activist. You know, I see myself as an ecological activist, really, and my work is an expression of that. And I find that colour and textiles are a really inspiring way of connecting with people and meeting them. And really, I use natural dyeing as a means for talking about ecology. I think it's really important when we're trying to create cultural change to do it in a way that's inspiring. I find a lot of time in activism that the technique is to kind of name and shame people in the way they're doing things, and brands and government, and you know, it's all don't do this, stop doing this, this is bad. And yes, it spreads awareness of things that are not healthy and not good to be pursuing, but it doesn't show an alternative, and it has an effect of quite full-on negativity and fear, and I think it really shuts people down and makes them ineffective. And that's the opposite of what you want. You want people to be inspired and excited and driven and in action, so that they actually can create positive transformation and new ways of doing things. So I think using natural dyeing, you know, colour from plants and beautiful textiles and creativity to connect with people is a really uplifting and inspiring way of also educating them. I think for all of us to make change possible, it's very much, it comes down to the individual, I think, and we all have different ideas about the changes that we want to see. So I think it's really important to be very clear on what your priorities are and to see if you're in alignment with those things and see where you can make changes to become in alignment and to be authentic in that, to envision what you want, to action the changes to become in alignment with that, and essentially be the change that you want to see in the world.